Hello, this is Chelsa, your 14CS do not date, and this is my database experiment number 8, which is about PLSQL functions and procedures. PLSQL is a procedural language. PLSQL have contains three blocks, that is declare, begin, and execution block. Declare box contains all the variables which contain declaration, and begin block contains the SQL statement, and PLSQL statements. PLSQL block are of three types: anonymous block, procedure block, and function block. Now, based on that, I am supposed to run the first query. In the first query, I have to PLSQL define a procedure that will accept the product ID from the user and check if the product ID is supplied the supplier and display the status. For that, I am creating the procedure. For creating the procedure, first my syntax is create or replace a product procedure and then its name. Then I am declaring x as the number and PID as a varchar. Then after that, in the begin statement, I am selecting the distinct product ID from the distinct product ID into PID from the supplier table. I am hopping in the supplier table and checking if the product ID which I supplied is supplied by the supplier. Then if both are equal, then I will display the product ID that is supplied, or if the product ID is given by the B is not equal to the supplied by the supplier, then it will display not supplied. So when I run this, my procedure is created, and this is my declare block, and when I run this, in this do not want, this is my product ID and this is supplied, so it will display it is supplied. And in my next question, I have to create a procedure to calculate total price for a product that has been supplied and passes supplier ID as the argument. For calculating the total price of the product, first I am creating a procedure, that is create or replace procedure P2, and then I am declaring x as the varchar and p as out as the number and q also as a number. Then in the begin statement, I am selecting the distinct price into p from the order quantity table, and then I am giving using a subquery and selecting the product ID, where I am giving the condition, that is where I am selecting the product ID from the supplier, where supplier ID equal to x, and then I am selecting the distinct quantity from the QU into distinct quantity into QU from the supplier table, where SID equal to x, and then I am displaying my value. And when I run, it will show some error order count. That's because my table is not showing. And then in my next question, I have to display I have to raise a procedure that raise quantity which increases the quantity of the ordered product. If it accepts an order ID and ordered quantity to be increased, it uses the order ID to find the current quantity from the order table and update the quantity. For that, first I am creating a procedure to raise quantity, that is Q as number and in varchar and Q1 as out number. And then in the begin statement, I am using my query, that is I am selecting the distinct order quantity into the Q1 and from the order quantity table, where I am selecting where my order ID equal to the order which I given in the given, and then if that is equal, then it will display the product quantity. And then for updating an order quantity, I am using the update order quantity set order quantity, and then I am using this Q1 into Q1 and Q I am updating where my checking if my order ID equal to 0, then only I am updating. Then select this distinct quantity into Q1 from order quantity where order ID equal to 0, and then I am displaying the updated quantity. For this, when I run my procedure is created, and when I run my declare block, in my next question, in my next I have to display in my next I have to create a function. In a function, next I have to create a function status to return value supplied if the product number is passed to it's available in the supply table, else will not supplied. So I have to check if my product ID, if the product number which I passed is valid or not. For that, first I am creating a function with the, then I am declaring, then in the beginning, then I am using a query. I am selecting the distinct product ID from the supplier table where I am checking if my given product ID is equal to the product ID which is there, and then if it's there, if the product ID I supplied is there, then it will display supplied, else it will display not supplied. So when I will check this, when in the declare block, when I give the value 30, 30 it will check and it will let's see the output. The statement is processed. That means this value, this 2000 is the product ID is in the supplier table also. In my next question, I have to write a PLSQL function to return the product name when the product ID is passed as an argument. So that means I have to display the name from the product name from when I display the give the product ID. So I am creating a function that is create or replace function, then product ID in varchar, then return the value. Then the begin statement I am using select the product description from the product table where my product ID is if my given product ID matches the product ID in the product table, it will display the product description. So in the declare block I am giving my values. So when I give my product ID, it will display if it's valid. And in my next one, I have to create a function to return the maximum ordered quantity by the supplier. For that, I am creating a function create or replace function F2. Then it will return a number. Then Q number. Then in the begin statement, I am selecting the maximum ordered quantity into Q from the ordered quantity. Then the declare block I am using the maximum number, and it will display the maximum ordered quantity from the customer. So when I run my function is created, and then when I run my declare block, it will display the maximum quantity from the table. Thank you for watching.